Okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we will be discussing some testimonials that we have received from people who have our products.
Okay, well, let me start with a couple here. And there's also some questions. How come we only need one vial to change our water as opposed to two patches on either side of the jar? And I show this often, and I may even show a vial in the jar, but maybe a vial put on the outside of a jar, or maybe patches put on the outside of a jar like this. Okay, and my answer on that was the energies of the vial will seek to balance one another in the water. It's just a different delivery system. Would you have anything to add to that?
No, it's all a balancing system, and as the water moves around in the jar, it becomes balanced with the vial that's on there.
Okay, and then if we use our vials or patches to charge water, can we make new vials with that water, and will the charge be as strong as the original? And I said, yes, it will be just as strong with the 14th set of patches you make, and it will carry the same strength when those you give patches to make more patches. Do you want to add to that? There's often questions about, is there an expiration date? Is it going to wear out?
Yeah, no, it lasts and lasts. It'll last longer than we will. So the energy is not going to wear out of the patch. It's going to be there.
Okay, and then on this testimonial, I just put some water from the plasma energy station on my clematis, which usually only flowers in the spring, or at least that's been the case so far. But it's flowering again in hot weather. And this was August 2019, and that's really nice. And while we're talking about plants, I want to share something that someone sent to me, and I'll get up to do this to make sure that you can see it. And what she said is she had all this new growth. I think you can see this on this Dracaena at the top of the plant. And what she had done, and she hadn't realized it until she paid more attention to it, is you can see the growth there at the top of this Dracaena. She had placed her plasma energy waters, they were sitting right there, and she had rotated the planter around so it was directly over the plasma energy waters. And then she sent me one more, which may be a little harder to see, and it's an old philodendron vine, and she said, does this rejuvenate humans too, like the fountain of youth? So I'd like to address that with you. This is someone who had a bit of a challenge getting on board with the plasma energy station, even though she had it and would use it and then not use it and then use it again. And so when she asked about rejuvenating people, I wanted to tell her what we had heard from a therapist. She has an ability to measure cell activity, and so when people come to her, she has a machine with a computer system, and she said most of the time on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being high and 6 being in a normal range, people will come to her and they're not feeling very well, they're kind of sluggish, not very energetic, and their cell activity level is between 2 and 3. Now she puts, these people are given the plasma energy station water to drink, and after they drink it for over a month, she said their cell activity is almost always at 8. And if it isn't at 8 within a month, it is within 2 months. And her cell activity level is now at a 10. So she says anyone who drinks the water will have improved cell activity within 2 months. That is a way for people to see that they are improving. The improving is all happening at the cellular level, and it may happen slowly. All blockages are removed and people get healthier. Celiacs really improve because with the water their health gets better because they can absorb nutrients. Is there anything you can think of to add? It's kind of exciting to have something quantifiable.
Yeah, it's nice that she can measure that. Up until now, we've not had any way to measure plasma energy or to measure the effects of plasma energy. We know that it causes changes, but actually measuring that is something new, and we appreciate getting that kind of information.
Well, and we have been able to measure the energy fields of it.
The fields and the effects, but not a quantifiable energy change.
Right, such as at the cellular level. And I was thinking the other day about maybe why people have such a hard time believing plasma energy. We're talking about something you haven't heard about. We're talking about something you can't see. And if you just look at the general overall thing in our society, I don't know, when's the first time you were lied to? About Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy?
I still remember when I found out there was no Santa Claus. Man, was I mad.
So culturally, I think that there's just a lot of cultural white lies that go on, and maybe
it's cultural indoctrination is what it is, and we grow up in with a limited idea of what is real and what is not real, and we're not encouraged to step outside of the box and look around and see what else is out there and what are the other possibilities. It's the way our culture has evolved, and I think it's worldwide, that we just do not like to step out of the box and do something unusual. Well, that, in my opinion, needs to change.
Well, and you've always kind of stepped out of the box. I mean, when you were in veterinary practice in the mid-'70s and went off and learned about acupuncture on animals, you were one of the first guys in the country to do it.
Right. And I took a lot of flack over it. But now acupuncture is an accepted practice. And everybody knows it works.
So, all we have to do is stick around 40 years and then everybody will be accepting of plasma energy. So, and who knows, maybe we can, So, but there was still a follow-up to this. And when I sent that information to the individual that sent me these pictures on her plants, here's what she responded. This is a really an unexpected side effect of using plasma water. I really think I can control my reactivity and feelings of victimization much more since I have been using the water daily for the past 2 months. I really haven't lamented and cried over my child who was taken years ago. And yes, I still get angry, but it's managed better, as is the sadness and any suicidal ideations. How to work? Now I need to work on the sense of hopelessness. Thank you, Lynn and Paul, for introducing me to plasma energy 2 years ago. It's all finally making sense. And when I'd hear from her, I generally had a pretty good sense she wasn't using the water, and I would just always hound her and say, use the water, use the water, use the water. And I think she finally gets it.
Yeah,
and
seems like it.
That's really exciting. So it's nice when somebody can turn a corner
Right.
and have a change like that. Okay, if we spray our clothes and hats with new tech frequency relief, do you think it would stop 5G, Wi-Fi, etc. from penetrating us, as well as the expensive fabric that has silver and copper threads in it?
In my opinion, it would. I have no proof, but I believe that it would, just from my past experience with it.
Okay, and I do want to mention that you have the silver GANs in the new tech frequency relief.
Right, that's right.
And that the research, the Japanese and Russian research, was that there was a great synergism with the shungite, the silver GANs, and the magnets.
Right.
So that's the way you formulated all that. So would it work to treat your clothing for pain and inflammation, with pain and inflammation, and later add other energies, such as energies that might repel bugs? And I said, sure, you can combine things. And I do want to mention what we were told by one woman, and she had injured herself in a fall and just had a lot of back and hip pain. So she put the pain relief water in the washing machine in a rinse load and let it sit there. And so she would, every time she was sleeping, her body was surrounded with those pain relief energy fields, and it really relieved her pain. So she was really pleased about that. And here's another question. Which of the vials are okay to add to the food plasma energy station, and which vials do you recommend that we keep separately? I say make separate containers for the vials that you receive other than the station vials, and you're going to put them in or on the outside of your separate containers. Now once you've done that, you can make a vial that you can add to your plasma energy station. But the reason I say to make all the separate ones is because if you want to share with others, then you have all those separate energies that you can give others whatever you might be wanting to give them. So I just say do that so you have the mother source, and then you can add a vial of another vial of that source to your energy station. So, be creative.
Right.
Yeah,
think out of the box. Use this stuff in all kinds of different ways, because I'm sure there's ways that we haven't thought about that we would like to know about.
You bet. And one last thing, a woman made an infusion cloth with everything that her pastor needed. He had a lot of issues with his arms and with his circulation, and he had leg pains. So she has him soak his knee braces and just wear them like that. And she said his elbows and hands were always black from bumping into things. So now she took the arms off his shirt, like a fitted shirt, like a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and soaked them and gave them to him to slip on his arms and then just put under his shirt sleeves. So nobody knows he's wearing an extra set of sleeves under there, but she said it's cleared up all the discoloration. So I thought that was really great. And I want to find one more thing, because she also said she has a blackberries bush, and it was always a real treat for just a couple of weeks in the summer to get some blackberries and put on her food. And she said she has so many blackberries this year she doesn't know what to do with them. And her daughter has a peach tree, and she finally had to she was using the water for the tree also, and had to make supports for the limbs. They were so heavy with peaches. And this woman also did one other thing. It was early in the season, and there was going to be a freeze and snow, but the trees were already leafed out and blooming. So she stood under her fruit trees with a spray bottle and sprayed up into the trees. And she said it kind of misted down on her as she was doing it. And when they got up the next morning, there was snow everywhere but under the trees. And there was not a bit of snow that had affected. She said it was in a circle, just in a big circle under the trees. And it had blown enough that there would have been snow under there, but the plasmatic fields had altered that. So that's just some of the magical things we get to hear about. All right, is there anything you'd like to add to this?
I think that's everything.
Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. You can see a lot of our videos on our website. We have one section called videos, but then if you go on the home page to the shop title and then pick out products under that title, you can scroll down through the products and see all the videos that we've been doing. And just to tell you a little more about the plasma energy products, and that is at plasmaenergysolution.com.
And we want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you feel you've gotten any value from it, give us a big thumbs up and share this with your friends and relatives. And if you would like to, leave us a comment down below this video. Thank you very much.